Elissa Slotkin, who was on with the newly canceled Colbert. And this is where she thinks the story needs focus. This is what she thinks it's all about, SOT 6.
Conspiratorially minded people out there like to think that some of the trouble the United States has is because of what they call the deep state.
Right.
Okay, and as a former spy, is there a deep state?
First of all, a lot of them are former military. So, if you can't be like pro-military and then anti-intelligence community. And a lot of the guys are also like wearing mom jeans and white sneakers on the weekends. Like, these are good corn-fed people. This idea that there's some network of people that are running the world, it doesn't really match reality. Mm-hmm. And for me, the way that Trump is going after them is first of all, it's nasty. Second of all, it's completely counter to our interests to be demoralizing the people that are protecting us.
Okay. She's the one who's going to stand up for the CIA, Glenn, against the evil right wing that is unfairly trying to smear them.
I can't help but note, first of all, she is part of this crop of lifelong CIA operatives that the Democratic Party specifically recruited, like Abigail Spanberger, who's running for governor in Virginia, is another, because the CIA, Megyn, for decades was anathema to Democratic Party politics. It was a staple of liberal American liberalism that the CIA was a sinister force in our politics. And what changed in 2016 was they began to see the CIA as their allies, precisely because of everything that we're talking about with James Brennan, with John Brennan in control of it, who politicized it to help Donald Trump be defeated and try and help Hillary Clinton be elected. And so here you see what is obviously a very liberal audience at Colbert screaming and cheering while a CIA operative defends the honor of the CIA. This shows how much these agencies have become politicized. You will never hear a Democratic Party elected official, not even on the left with like Rashida Tlaib or AOC or Bernie Sanders, ever criticize the CIA, because that is the problem. They now recognize that these agencies have become domestic political allies of American liberalism and the left. And so you call on a 20-year CIA operative to say, oh, there's no such thing as a deep state and these are just corn-fed people. And a lot of people who work for the CIA are perfectly fine, but that doesn't mean the leadership isn't sinister. Just like you criticize, wars in the military, you're not impugning the integrity of the soldiers who go and fight. You're saying that the institution has been corrupted.
This woman is one of the most annoying women in politics, people in politics. The audience may be familiar. When she was at that Pete Hegseth confirmation hearing, I wanted to punch her in the face. She was so condescending to him. Well, she was saying to the next Secretary of Defense, a guy who's done 3 tours of duty, who left Princeton to go fight for the country post 9/11. Nobody leaves Princeton to go put on the uniform and fight for the country. Okay, most of those people are on the fast track to elitism, but Pete Hegseth did, and fought valiantly for us in all over the world in actual theaters of war. So she's got him there for the confirmation hearing. And if you really do care about the people in the military, and I believe that you do, I believe that you do, I do. But if you really do care, and every comment was like, I will accept that you might actually care about the men and women in uniform. F you. He doesn't need your pat on the head. All right. He's been there and done that. He's got buddies he lost. He doesn't need you, Elissa Slotkin, to verify his courage, his patriotism, love of country, and so on. It's just so infuriating if you watch that whole thing. It's a very popular video that is on our feed right now. Okay. Anyway, I got to move on. So that's enough of her.
Okay.
There's a lot to go over. I want to touch on the Cincinnati
I'm glad
fight.
you cut me off because I have a lot to say on her. So in the interest of moving on, let's move on.
I will give you a minute on Elissa Slotkin because she's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, it actually it's one of the reasons why to this very day I'm so indignant about them trying to turn Tulsi Gabbard into a traitor and a Assad loyalist and a Putin operative, when Tulsi Gabbard as a young woman went and volunteered and fought in combat for the United States in Iraq and Afghanistan, not like in a lawyer's office, but in real combat. She does that. She's still in the U.S. military 20 years later in the Army Reserves as a lieutenant colonel. And then Hillary Clinton, who loves wars, sends people to wars, but never herself or her family goes and fights them, has the audacity to try and impugn Tulsi Gabbard's patriotism and imply she's a traitor. They do this all the time. Like, I have a lot of disagreements with Pete Hegseth, have disagreements with Tulsi Gabbard, but these are people who put the life on their line for the country. Like, that deserves a minimal level of respect where you don't imply that their allegiance to the country or their fellow service members are in doubt. But this is Democratic Party politics. They don't care about that.
No, not at all. And yet she's clever because she's not a dummy. You can hear her. She kind of talks the talk. She knows like the Cornhuskers, like she knows how to sort of make a reference to right-wing politics. And she keeps saying the same voters who put me in office voted for Donald Trump. You know, she's basically just the same as Donald Trump with just like a different policy edge. Totally untrue. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing, and people should know that about her. Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they are moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your personal savings to worry about. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold, like from Birch Gold Group. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. And Birch was an advertiser on this show 12 months ago. If you had purchased then, you'd be 40% richer today. Now's the time. Central banks continue to bolster demand for gold by burying in record quantities. Global instability and tension is high, and Birch Gold makes owning physical gold so easy. Easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or buy some to store in your home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold is going to send you a free info kit on gold. Look into it, see if it's right for you. There's no obligation, just useful information to help you make a decision. With an A+ rating, with a Better Business Bureau, and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of your savings today. Text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.